If your joints ache, feel stiff, or don't move as smoothly anymore, you've probably been told something like this. That's normal after 60. But here's the part most people never hear. That explanation leaves out a major piece of the puzzle. Joint pain isn't just about getting older or using your joints too much. In many cases, it's about losing the support that keeps joints protected in the first place. Joints rely on collagen to cushion movement, hold cartilage together, and absorb everyday stress. When that support weakens, joints start feeling exposed. Pain shows up faster, stiffness lasts longer, and simple movement feels harder than it should. Yes, collagen declines with age, but what's rarely explained is that the body also becomes less efficient at maintaining it. That's when joints feel weaker even without heavy use. This doesn't mean your joints are failing. It usually means they're missing the support they depend on. The good news is that collagen support isn't complicated. Certain everyday foods help joints in very specific ways. Some rebuild cushioning, some strengthen the surrounding tissue, and others help calm irritation. In this video, we'll cover 6 collagen-supporting foods, each with a different role in joint health. If joint pain has been slowing you down, you're in the right place. Before we start, like this video and subscribe. This channel helps seniors make simple food choices for a powerful, healthy comeback. Let's begin. Food number 1, bone broth. Let's start with bone broth. And there's a reason this one comes first. Here's something most seniors are never told. Joint pain often begins long before doctors see damage on an X-ray. It starts when the natural cushioning inside the joint slowly thins. The joint still looks fine, but it doesn't feel fine. It feels sensitive, stiff, and uncomfortable during everyday movement. Bone broth supports that cushioning stage. Inside your joints, collagen helps create a smooth buffer, so bones don't feel every step, bend, or shift. As we age, that buffer wears down quietly. When it does, joints start feeling exposed, like there's less padding than there used to be. That's why pain can show up even without arthritis showing clearly on scans. This is why bone broth has been used for decades in hospitals, especially during recovery. It delivers collagen in a warm, liquid form that's easy to digest. That matters after 60, because many people don't break down solid proteins as well as they once did. What many seniors notice isn't instant pain relief. It's something more subtle but important. Joints feel less bare. Getting up feels a little smoother. There's less hesitation before moving. And here's the key. Bone broth doesn't try to fix joints overnight. It supports the foundation that joints depend on every day. You don't need a lot. 1 cup a day is enough. Warm, simple, easy to include. Bone broth earns its place because before joints can feel stronger, they need to feel protected again. Next, we'll talk about a food that helps joints repair themselves, not just feel cushioned. Food 2, eggs. Now let's talk about eggs, and this one surprises a lot of seniors. Here's something most people never hear. Many joint problems after 60 aren't caused by damage. They're caused by incomplete repair. Your joints try to fix themselves every day, but the repair doesn't finish properly. So stiffness and soreness quietly build up. Egg whites help solve that problem. When doctors talk about recovery, after surgery, illness, or injury, eggs are often one of the first foods recommended. Not because they're fancy, but because the body recognizes them easily. Egg whites provide amino acids that collagen needs to repair itself, and they do it without stressing digestion. Here's the myth that catches people off guard. Eating enough protein doesn't guarantee collagen repair. After 60, digestion changes. Many proteins don't break down cleanly anymore. Egg whites do. That's why they're used so often in hospitals and care settings. What seniors usually notice isn't instant pain relief. It's something more practical. Joints feel less stiff after sitting. Recovery between days feels easier. That tight feeling after movement doesn't last as long. Egg whites don't build cushioning. Bone broth already help with that. Their job is different. They help the body finish repairs it already started but couldn't complete. You don't need a big omelet. 1 or 2 egg whites a day is enough. Simple, familiar, easy to use. Eggs earn this spot because joints don't just need protection. They need reliable repair. Next, we'll talk about a food that helps joints feel more stable and secure, especially when balance matters more than it used to. Food 3, pumpkin seeds. Now let's talk about pumpkin seeds because this food solves a problem many seniors feel, but rarely know how to explain. Here's the insight most people never hear. Joint pain after 60 isn't always about pain. It's often about instability. That feeling of joints being a little shaky, weak, or unreliable usually means the tissues that hold the joint together aren't as strong as they used to be. Pumpkin seeds help with joint stability. Around every joint is connective tissue that acts like strong bands, keeping everything aligned during movement. As collagen support weakens, those tissues lose tension. That's when joints feel less secure, balance feels off, and movements start to feel cautious instead of confident. Pumpkin seeds provide nutrients that support the strength of connective tissue. This is why they're often recommended in nutrition plans focused on structural support, not just pain relief. They don't numb discomfort. They help joints feel more solid. Here's the part that surprises many seniors. Stability issues often show up before serious pain. People say things like, "I just don't trust my knees," or "I feel unsure when I step down." That's not in your head. It's structural support weakening. What people usually notice with pumpkin seeds is subtle but important. Standing feels steadier. Movements feel more controlled. There's less hesitation when shifting weight or turning. Pumpkin seeds don't rebuild cushioning like bone broth. They don't speed repair like eggs. Their role is different. They help joints feel anchored. You don't need many. A small handful a few times a week is enough. They can be eaten on their own or sprinkled onto foods you already enjoy. Pumpkin seeds earn this spot because strong joints aren't just about comfort. They're about confidence. Next, we'll move to a food that helps protect joints from daily wear, not just support them structurally. Food 4, spinach. Now let's talk about spinach, and this one surprises people because its benefit isn't about strength or cushioning. It's about why joints feel irritated even on days you don't do much. Here's the insight most seniors are never told. Joint discomfort often comes from microscopic damage that builds up faster than the body can calm it down. You don't feel this damage happening. You only feel the stiffness and soreness afterward. Spinach helps by protecting collagen from this constant low-level breakdown. Studies on aging joints have found that certain compounds in leafy greens help slow the processes that quietly weaken connective tissue over time. When that breakdown slows, collagen lasts longer, and joints don't feel as reactive. This explains something many people notice but can't explain. You move a little, and your joints feel irritated, not injured, just uncomfortable. That usually means collagen is being worn down faster than it's being protected. Spinach helps tip that balance back in your favor. Unlike bone broth, spinach doesn't rebuild cushioning. Unlike eggs, it doesn't repair tissue directly. Its role is different. It helps preserve what you already have, so repairs don't disappear as quickly. Many seniors notice this as joints feeling calmer, less sensitive, less angry after normal movement. The body doesn't feel like it's constantly catching up. One important tip, spinach works best lightly cooked. Cooking reduces compounds that block absorption and makes it easier on digestion, which matters after 60. You don't need large portions. A small serving a few times a week is enough. Spinach earns this spot because rebuilding joints means nothing if collagen keeps breaking down faster than it's protected. Next, we'll talk about a food that helps joints recover between uses, especially when soreness seems to last longer than it used to. Food 5, berries. Now let's talk about berries, because this food explains something many seniors feel, but rarely understand. Here's the insight most people are never told. Joint pain after 60 is often a recovery problem, not a damage problem. Your joints may actually be trying to bounce back. They just take longer to settle down than they used to. Every time you move, your joints experience small amounts of internal stress. That's normal. In younger years, the body clears that stress quickly, so soreness fades fast. As we age, that cleanup process slows. Stress lingers, and joints stay uncomfortable longer than they should. Berries help support the body's ability to reset after movement. Research on aging and joint comfort shows that compounds found in berries help tissues calm down after use. When that process works better, joints don't stay irritated all day or overnight. Recovery becomes smoother and more predictable. This explains a common experience many seniors recognize. You don't overdo it, you just go about your day. But the next morning, your joints feel more sore than expected. That's often not new damage. It's leftover stress that didn't clear properly. Berries help shorten that recovery window. People who include berries regularly often notice fewer lingering soreness days. Joints don't feel as sensitive after normal activity. Movement feels easier to return to instead of something to hesitate about. Berries are also easy to use. You don't need large portions. A small bowl a few times a week is enough. Fresh or frozen both work well, and frozen berries are often more convenient. Berries earn this place because joints don't just need support. They need recovery to happen on time again. Next, we'll talk about the final food, one that helps remove the internal resistance that keeps joint pain hanging around longer than it should. Food 6. Garlic. Now we've reached the final food on the list, and this one often surprises people because it doesn't work on joints the way most expect. Here's the insight. Most seniors are never told. Joint pain often lingers not because the damage is severe, but because the body stays stuck in a low-level irritated state. Even when repair begins, that irritation keeps joints from fully settling down. Garlic helps by reducing that internal resistance. As we age, the body becomes slower at switching off inflammatory signals after movement. Joints aren't necessarily injured. They're just constantly on edge. Garlic contains natural sulfur compounds that help interrupt this pattern, allowing joints to relax instead of staying tense. This is why garlic has been studied for years in relation to aging joints and mobility. Researchers noticed that people who regularly included garlic in their diet often reported joints that felt less stiff and less reactive over time. Not numbed, not masked, just calmer. Here's the part most people don't know, and this is the wow moment. When garlic is crushed and left to sit for about 10 minutes before cooking, its active compounds become much more effective. That simple pause allows helpful compounds to fully form. Most people skip this step and miss the benefit. Many seniors notice garlic's effect as joints feeling less angry. Morning stiffness eases faster. That lingering soreness after activity doesn't hang around as long. Movement feels more forgiving. Garlic doesn't rebuild joints or add cushioning. Its role is different. It helps the body release the irritation that keeps joint discomfort from letting go. You don't need much. One small clove a day is enough. Raw or lightly cooked works best. Add it to meals you already enjoy. Garlic earns its place at the end because sometimes the biggest improvement comes from helping the body finally calm down. Here's what really matters. Joint pain after 60 doesn't mean your body is broken. More often, it means different kinds of support have been missing at the same time. When that support starts coming back, progress usually isn't dramatic. It's subtle and steady. Most people don't notice the change all at once. They notice it when they realize they didn't think about their joints that day, or when they stand up without bracing first, or when movement feels less planned and more natural again. That's how improvement often shows up. The key is simplicity. You don't need to add all 6 foods. Trying to do too much usually backfires. If you want an easy place to start, pick the food that felt most familiar and include it 3 times this week. That's enough to begin. Consistency matters more than intensity. Your body responds to patterns, not pressure. And even small, steady support can add up over time. Now we'd love to hear from you, and I personally read every comment. Which food felt most doable for you? Share below. We're building a community here for strong comebacks, so subscribe. Hit the bell icon, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. If this was helpful and you want to support the effort behind it, give this video a like and share it with someone you love. Join me in the next video. I've got more surprises waiting for you.